I don't usually pick people up. I've driven past a dozen hitchhikers in my life, maybe more. I always have a reason not to stop. Too far from town. Wrong time of day. Gut feeling. But this time was different. It was almost 10 p.m., and I was driving through a long stretch of highway between states. Long-haul trip for work. Empty road. My GPS had rerouted me off the interstate due to construction, and I ended up on a 2-lane road I didn't recognize. I saw him about 5 minutes after the turn. He was standing just beyond the guardrail, half in shadow, facing the road but not waving. Just waiting. One arm down, a backpack resting by his side. Something about the posture caught my attention. He wasn't looking around. Wasn't cold. Just still. I slowed the car before I realized I was doing it. By the time I passed him, I'd already decided. I stopped 50 yards ahead and hit the hazards. When he got in, he didn't say anything at first, just nodded. Saturday back. Didn't fumble. Didn't thank me. That was the first thing that threw me off. He didn't ask where I was going. Didn't ask to be dropped anywhere specific. I asked anyway, just to keep things normal. He looked out the window for a while before answering. Said something vague. A town I hadn't heard of. Told me it was a couple hours out. Then went quiet again. We drove like that for a while. The road was empty. Only our headlights ahead and the soft red glow of my dash. The hitchhiker didn't shift. Didn't adjust his seat. Just sat there, hands folded in his lap. Calm. Still. Then he said my name. Not, hey. Not, excuse me. Just said it. Out of nowhere. Like it had been sitting in his mouth, waiting. I didn't respond at first. I figured maybe I had left something in the front seat. A receipt, a badge, something with my name printed. I scanned the dash. Glove box shut. No papers out. Then he said the name of my sister. And the street I grew up on. I didn't look at him. I kept my eyes forward. My hands tightened on the wheel. He didn't laugh, didn't explain. Just said another detail. My old dog's name. The one that died 10 years ago. That's when I asked who he was. No answer. But he smiled. Not wide, not pleasant. Just a stretch of the mouth that didn't fit the rest of his face. I thought about pulling over and telling him to get out. But I didn't. Not because I was afraid. Because I couldn't find a place to pull off. The road was suddenly shoulderless. Trees lined both sides. Thick. Dark. No brakes. No turnouts. No signs. Then he asked about the basement. The one in my childhood home. The one no one ever went into. He described it. Low ceiling. Cement walls. That smell of damp earth and something older. Said there was something in the back corner. Buried. I gripped the wheel harder. Because I had buried something there. Something I never told anyone about. A box. Full of notebooks. Sketches. Stuff I drew after the night my brother disappeared. I was 11. Nobody ever found them. I told no one. The man in the passenger seat tilted his head and said, "You forgot one." That's when I noticed the temperature in the car had dropped. Not outside. Inside. I reached for the climate dial, but it was already maxed. Heat. Full blast. Still, my breath fogged the windshield. I looked in the rearview mirror. There were no headlights behind us. But in the mirror, I saw the man's reflection. And he was smiling wider now. But in the actual seat beside me, he wasn't. Same posture, same hands. Still. Only the reflection moved. I stopped looking at the mirror. The next 30 minutes passed in silence. I checked the GPS. No route displayed. Just the car icon floating in gray. I tapped the screen. It glitched, then went black. He asked me if I remembered the tire swing. The one behind the church my parents used to take me to. He asked if I knew what hung from it after we moved away. Then he turned his head and looked directly at me for the first time since he got in. His eyes were dark, not just in color. Flat, like looking into holes that didn't stop. He said, We've almost arrived. I didn't know what he meant, because I hadn't been driving toward anything I recognized. And ahead, the road just seemed to keep going. Straight. Endless. No signs. No lights. Just dark trees. And a turn I don't remember taking. I didn't respond when he said we were almost there. I kept my eyes on the road. It was all I had left. The lines beneath the headlights stretched like threads being pulled too tight. No signs. No turns. No towns. And still, he sat next to me. Silent again. But the air in the car felt wrong. Thick. Like I was driving underwater. The pressure was behind my eyes now. My ears buzzed. The dash flickered once, then went dark completely. The gauges didn't stop working. They just disappeared. I looked again, and there was no panel. No speedometer. No fuel. No display. Just flat black plastic where the dashboard used to be. I glanced in the mirror. The road behind us was gone. Not hidden. Gone. The reflection showed only dark, like the headlights had been cut in half, and nothing remained behind their reach. I stopped checking the mirror after that. Then, I noticed the windshield. It didn't show the sky anymore. Just more road. No horizon. No moon. No end. I asked myself if I was dreaming. I reached out and touched the dash. Felt the cold plastic. The ridges. I tapped the window and felt the same texture as always. But the road had stopped feeling real. The lines beneath us no longer passed like normal. They moved in slow jerks. Like the car wasn't driving, it was being pulled. Then the man moved again. He raised one hand and touched the ceiling of the car. Just rested his fingers there. 5 fingers. Too long, too flat. Each one twitched, like something under the skin was adjusting itself. And that's when I saw the first change outside the window. Shapes. Not buildings, not trees. Just forms standing along the side of the road. Still, spaced out, even. I couldn't see faces, just outlines. Like people made of smoke and wire, barely holding shape. As we passed, each one turned. Not fast, just enough to let me know they knew I was there. I felt the passenger seat shift. Not weight, just space. Like the seat no longer contained anything. Like it had been hollowed. I looked. He was still there. But not exactly. His eyes weren't focused anymore. Just open. Too open. His head tilted back. Resting against the seat like a doll. And from his mouth, something moved. Not breath. Not sound. Just a faint ripple in the air. Like heat over pavement. The car began to slow. But my foot hadn't moved. I pressed the gas. Nothing. The road curved, and we were turning without steering. I grabbed the wheel, but it no longer resisted. It spun freely in my hands like a toy. Then, the forest ended. Not gradually. The trees just stopped, and beyond them black. Not night, just space without shape. No ground, no sky. Like the road itself floated. And at the end of it, something stood. A tall figure, pale, backlit by nothing. Its shape blurred, like a reflection in water. It raised one hand, and the car stopped. The man beside me sat up, not by lifting himself, like he was pulled. His spine clicked upright, and his head turned slowly toward mine. He opened his mouth again, and this time, I heard it. My voice, repeating the same sentence over and over. I never said yes. I never said yes. I never said yes. But I had. Somewhere. I don't remember saying it. I don't remember agreeing. But part of me had accepted something. A ride. A turn. A trade. The door beside him opened. He stepped out. And as he walked forward toward the tall figure, he changed. Became more like them. Less human. Less shape. And something else got in. Not into the car. Into me. The weight shifted. I sat still, hands on the wheel, watching the road behind me return. The sky return. The dash light up again. The forest reappear. But when I looked at my reflection in the mirror, I wasn't blinking right. My eyes moved a second too slow. My mouth stayed closed when it should have breathed. And in the seat beside me, the door clicked shut again. A bag sat on the floor. Same one the hitchhiker had when I picked him up. Same shape. Only now, it belonged to me. Because now, I was waiting on the side of the road. And someone else was driving,